there, young scientists. I am Dr. Way.
Greetings, young lab technologist. I'm Dr. Yah.
And as you can see, Dr. Yah, we are live on location because today's science experiment is going to get messy as we continue to go mad for the gospel. Speaking of messy, Dr. Yah.
Yes, today our lesson is very messy. Our experiment is messy, but it's also a little messy in our Bible story for today. So in our Bible story for today, we have Abraham and Lot.
Ooh.
And they are brothers who were in the promised land. God had led them to this point and brought them into this promised land, and they had good things happening. They were raising a lot of animals and taking care of their families.
The promised land, I mean, it's milk and honey.
It's perfect. The bad part was they were raising so many animals that they forgot to kind of like raise up food to feed the animals. And so it got really messy because you had two families, both raising a lot of animals, and they had people there that were taking care of the animals. But because there wasn't enough food, they started to fight.
Oh, they got hangry.
They got very hangry.
I get hangry when I don't eat too.
Yes. And so the different people that they had hired to take care of their animals were now starting to fight each other, even to the point where they wanted to beat each other up. It was getting explosive.
Explosive.
Yes, it was getting really messy. And so Abraham decided, you know what, we're going to split and we're going to say this part is your land and this part is my land. So he let Lot pick.
Oh, okay.
And Lot picked the lower version of the land, which was pretty, green and lush and really appeared like the better land. Abraham then took the upper portion, which was a little drier, a little denser, didn't look quite as good for raising animals. But our God is a God who doesn't break his promises. And he promised Abraham that he was going to take care of him. So even though things got messy and kind of explosive, God still provided and took care of his people.
And that's a great thing to know. Speaking of land, Dr. Yah, that's what our science experiment is about today. We're going to talk about Earth. We're talk about land, because in our story, that's what they were ultimately fighting over, the different lands. So I want you to put your science caps on and think of an egg.
Ooh.
I know, I just said land and I compared it to an egg, but you know that an egg has three parts. I want you to think about this, okay? It has the shell, it has the white part, and it has the yolk. Well, Earth also has those types of things. So we have the core, the mantle, and the crust. The crust is like the eggshell, so it's the outer portion of things.
Where we live.
Yeah. The mantle is the white part of an egg, or like the inside, you can kind of tell. And then the yolk, or the core of the Earth. That's the deep down middle part of the Earth, okay? And that's what we're going to do a science experiment with today. We're going to build up the outside, the crust, and then from deep down inside, something is going to emerge. Are you ready for it? Because it's time for science experiment. All right, scientists. So for today's science experiment, we truly do suggest you do it outside, because it's going to get messy, or at least a spot in your house that doesn't have something that's going to stain and stay gross.
Easily cleaned up.
Yes. So for today's science experiment, you are going to need, and we'll show you this when we head over to the sand pit to do ours, you are going to need sand or dirt, whatever you can kind of build up. You are going to need an empty plastic water bottle. You are going to need measuring spoons. You are going to need a funnel to make it a little bit easier. You're going to need baking soda, liquid dish soap, and vinegar.
What could we be doing?
And it helps if you want to see something really cool, a little bit of red food coloring. All right, let's go, Dr. Yah.
Come on, scientist.
Right, young scientists. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your plastic bottle with the cap on so that you get nothing else in here. And you're going to build up a mound around it. So make sure it's in the middle. You want to hide the bottle, okay? So you're going to make it so that you cannot see the bottle. All right, so there we go. We have now got the crust of the earth assembled and ready to go. So now you can take the cap off of your bottle, and this is where you are going to add the ingredients. So you are going to take about a tablespoon of baking soda, and unfortunately we did not have a funnel here in the lab today. Crazy, I know. So we're just going to use a pouring spout, and we're going to just dump that right in to the bottle. See why we said do it outside, friends? It's already a little messy. All right, so there we go. We have got the baking soda in. We are now going to add some red food coloring. Dr. Yah. All right, you are now going to take your liquid dish soap and add about a tablespoon right inside. And then you're going to want to get your vinegar, and you're going to need about a cup.
Goggles up, friends.
Yeah, goggles up. I'm gonna just dump this, dry this portion out. Goggles up.
Safety first, technicians.
Always. All right.
Should probably stand back too.
Here we go. Whoa!
Whoa, that is explosive.
The inside of the earth is emerging. And it's continuing to go and go and go. Whoa! That's pretty cool, scientists.
Scientists, take a video of your science experiment and show us. Make sure you send it to us so that we can see your volcano explode.
All right, Dr. Yah, why don't you, we'll get this cleaned up and we'll meet you back over there in the shade so that we can explain our science experiment and its application today. All right, young scientists, we hope that you enjoyed that science experiment. We do suggest maybe mixing the red food coloring in a little bit sooner because unfortunately we didn't get the red to come out.
Ours didn't come out, it got stuck at the bottom.
But we're just, you know, amateur scientists, so maybe you guys being more professional can handle that science experiment. But we wanted to talk about that science experiment and just exactly what happened. So we had the baking soda and the vinegar, and those two together created a reaction. They created a gas, and that gas had to leave. That gas was called carbon dioxide, and it had to build up such a pressure and it had to leave somewhere. So it actually came out the top of the bottle when those two things mixed. Well, just like our land, when you look at a volcano, it does the same thing. So inside of a volcano, we have magma, and magma mixes together with the gases and all those types of things down there, and then when that erupts, it has to come up. So it comes up through the volcano, and then when it exits the volcano, it becomes lava, and that's where it all goes. So we suggest maybe at home with the help of mom or dad, you look up a video on a real volcano erupting.
And just like you said, with our land providing this for us, God has done amazing things with our land. In our Bible story today, we saw how he provided for Abraham and Lot, even though the land was so very different. And today, he continues to provide for us in so many ways. He gives us food, shelter, all those things here on our land.
So not only do we have an amazing land and different types of land, but we have an even more amazing God that created all of that land. So,
from Dr. Yah
and Dr. Wei,
we'll see you guys next week as we go mad for the gospel.
Bye.